Looking for a Brent Underwood. You him?
Depends on who's asking.
Rumor is this Brent Underwood owns this town.
Did you hear that?
TikTok?
Come on up, I'll show you around.
Shit, all right.
This is Cerro Gordo, and Brent Underwood actually does own it. Back in the 1870s, this was one of California's silver mining boom towns. But now, it's one of the most infamous ghost towns in the West. 2 years ago, Underwood put up his life savings, and with the help of some investors, he bought the town for $1.4 million. He's planning to open it up as a tourist destination next year.
What kind of place was this?
It was dangerous. It was the Wild West. The police wouldn't come up here. You know, the reports on the newspapers were something like a murder a week.
Murder a week?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at every single one of the buildings around here, from this one to the one we're sitting in, there's bullet holes in them.
When the pandemic started, Underwood moved out here and got to work restoring the place by himself. And in his downtime, he does what anyone would do if they were stuck in an abandoned mining town. He makes TikToks.
The other night, I decided to sleep down in an abandoned mine.
Yesterday, I found a 350-year-old coin in an abandoned silver mine. I'm gonna try to squeeze my way through and see what's in there, and hopefully find some treasure.
What is the TikTok that blew it up for you?
I really want to find denim in the mines, because like the original Levi jeans are from 1873, and those are like the holy grail for denim collectors. And I remember one day I thought I found them, and I thought I saw some denim down on a ledge, but I didn't have my climbing gear, so I'll have to come back a different day.
This one video has almost 15 million views. And between TikTok and YouTube, Cerro Gordo's starting to get a pretty big cult following.
I'm Brent, yeah. Hey, nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
So what was that about?
They just were passing through and they had seen some of the YouTube videos.
And people come up here, is that what they say? Yo, I saw it on TikTok, yo, I saw it on YouTube?
Yeah, probably like 3 or 4 times a day.
What do you think it is that people like about watching you on TikTok, watching you on YouTube?
There's the historic element that people like. There's the treasure hunting element that some people like. There's alone in the wilderness element that I think is particularly interesting right now.
But taking over a ghost town also means taking on problems from the past. In June, an electrical fire burned down the town's main attraction, the American Hotel. Then there's the mines. They're dangerous and unstable, but that doesn't stop Underwood from going down there almost every day.
So this is the reason Cerro Gordo is what it is. Like underneath us, right there's a vertical shaft 900 feet straight down. So around the 500, it gets stuck a little bit, this cage, and it starts chattering. It's like, as it's trying to get past, and then you free fall for about a couple feet. Some people will jump out of perfectly good airplanes for no reason, and I think that's crazy. Some people think going down into an old mine is crazy, I guess.
Me, yes, me. I think that.
A lot of the mine hasn't been explored in hundreds of years. There's like a pretty famous collapse in the 1870s that killed 30 miners. It was such a bad collapse that they couldn't get them out.
So there's 30 people.
Still right below you, yeah.
Wow.
Like most Western mining towns, Cerro Gordo has a complicated backstory. The town was established after American settlers forced the indigenous people off the surrounding land, with the help of the US Army, and its mining industry relied heavily on Chinese workers, who were pushed to live on the outskirts of town.
And this is where the Chinese people in this town were living.
A lot in this whole area around here, right? This part of the town, people kind of made their houses where they could, whether it was an old exploratory tunnel that they ended up putting a door on, making out of rocks like you see above us, or this. I mean, this is just a crevice in the side of the mountain that you throw on a door.
I grew up watching some of the same cowboy movies that I think everybody watched.
Sure.
Right? And all those, you know, it's white guy rides into town, has some adventures,
Right.
shoots a couple bad guys, rides off in the sunset. But I mean, Cerro Gordo has a history that you know about. I mean, indigenous people pushed off the land, also killed.
Right.
Chinese people actually segregated on the dark side of the mountain. That accident that happened with
Yeah.
30 miners that died, were they?
All Chinese miners, right? There was a lot of bad stuff that happened here, and it's part of the town's history.
Do you think the tourists who come up here, do they want to hear that part?
To me, I don't care if they want it or not. It's part of Cerro Gordo's history, right? And hopefully people resonate with that. And yeah, if they don't go to Disney World or something, I don't care.
When will this project be done?
I don't think Cerro Gordo will ever be done. I commented that once on YouTube and someone's like, unsubscribe, because like they want like the finale. But sorry guys, you gotta keep watching for a while because I don't see it ever stopping really. Cerro Gordo was here before I was around. It's gonna be here long after I am here. There's a Latin term called Memento Mori, which means remember that you're gonna die. I think about my own death a lot. And I think for me, it's clarified what I think is important and what I don't think is important. And I think Cerro Gordo is important.
Do you think more about death now that you've come up here?
Definitely. I mean, it's impossible to avoid death at Cerro Gordo. I mean, whether it was the people dying in the streets, whether it was the miners dying down in the mines. There's a cemetery up there just past that final pole where there's miners that died in the Spanish influenza. So the last major pandemic that hit the world affected Cerro Gordo. And so to be here during this modern pandemic is like a very interesting time to me to be here for historical reasons. And so it's impossible to escape death when you're at Cerro Gordo. And so for me, it's like a constant reminder.
There is a lot of risk in you going into these mines.
Yeah.
You're doing it anyway.
The only place in the world where everything else in the world disappears for me, meaning like I'm sitting here now and there's like all sorts of anxieties and thoughts you're going through. Like maybe somebody's emailed me, my phone might go off, this might happen. But in the mine, my phone doesn't work. And I have to be so focused on not getting hurt and on maybe finding whatever I'm looking for that it's almost becomes like literal tunnel vision. And I think about nothing else and I just get lost. And the sense of time for me just evaporates. And occasionally you do get the moments of like clarity where it's just like, not only are you by yourself in a ghost town, you're now in a mine miles from the ghost town, miles in the earth. Like nobody in the world knows where you are.
Yeah.
And
if you get lost, that's it.
That's where I'm gonna be. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I think if the worst case scenario happens, and it's really morbid to think about that, but like, let's say I died in a mine at Cerro Gordo. I've already told my friends what I want to happen. I want them to basically like seal off the entrance, that become my tomb. It's just like, you know, Brent's there. I love this place and I'm willing to like spend my life working on it. And I see this as my life's work. When we were thinking about buying the town, a lot of the potential investors asked, what's your exit plan, right? I don't have an exit plan. There's no exit plan here. Like me dying is the exit plan. I plan to like build this place up and run it for the rest of my life.